Yo, what's poppin', everybody? Welcome back to the podcast, another episode of Caffeine and Green with your man, Connor Cardenas. And per usual, before we get into it, I just want to make sure that you guys are heading on over to www.caffeineandgreenroasting.com today for all of your coffee needs. That's right. You can head on over to the website right now. You can get that Issa blend, that morning sesh, or that new single origin Costa Rican coffee, the Notorious. That's right. And if you head on over to the website right now, you can also check out any of the merch that we have available. We also have some coffee mugs, jackets, sweaters, shirts, whatever you need with Caffeine and Green, everything is available on the website right now. So again, if you head on over to www.caffeineandgreenroasting.com today, you can get everything that you need for Caffeine and Green. All right. My guest today is a coffee professional. He's a coffee roaster here in San Diego. His name is Jimmy Silva. He is the owner of Jaunt Coffee Roasters in Miramar, Mira Mesa. And I've been trying to get him on the podcast for, I would say at least 6 months. We've been going back and forth. We've met at least one time and finally got him on. Schedules worked out, and it was a great conversation. I was super excited, and I just love sitting down and talking with him because we can just talk forever. So without further ado, my man, Jimmy Silva. This your time to shine, homie. Let's go. Give me caffeine and green. It's your boy Connor. What's good? Good. Caffeine and green. And we're live.
Hello.
Jimmy Silva, welcome to Caffeine and Green, sir.
Thank you, sir, for having me.
Yes, cheers. I cheers water. Cheers.
Cheers.
I've said it ad nauseum, I believe, on the podcast before, but I really do believe that people are like, you can't cheers water, it's bad luck. It's like, why not?
I've never heard that.
I've definitely heard that a lot of times. And I'm like, dude, water is so good. I have my water right next to me as well, but I have my coffee whiskey here first. So Jimmy, for people who don't know you, you own Jaunt Coffee Roasters.
I do, out in Miramar / Mira Mesa area.
Yeah, right across the street from like an archery. What's it called? Performance archery.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Dude,
and then on that side, there's also like a meadery, a cidery.
Thunderbird, right? Or something?
Thunderhawk. The brewery used to be there. They closed.
They closed?
Yeah.
No way.
Yeah, they did.
Because of COVID?
I don't think so. From what
problem.
I saw on social media, it's something between the owners. But yeah, I love their beer. And I love, it was a great spot. But sadly it closed. So the cidery and the meadery are there now. And I believe they have another food vendor there too.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. So that's that side. And then our side, there's sake, there's wine, there's 2 breweries, there's a sushi place, there's us, there's Mr. G's Salsa, there's Caked, a cookie spot, there's a ice cream spot there that's always closed.
I was going to say, isn't there like a gelato spot right by you or something like that?
There's Boboy, their production facility. I love Boboy Gelato. They're there too, but they just do production there. They don't serve their stuff.
Oh, okay.
But yeah, there's a whole bunch. So yeah, and then there's a bunch of vendors there. So it's a nice little center that is out there in Miramar and in the middle of industrial park. So that's where we're located.
Damn, dude. And that's actually, bringing it back. I mean, that's not jumping ahead, but kind of jumping ahead, I guess. Because dude, I've been trying to get you on here for a minute. I was actually, right before you got here, I was thinking about when I actually sat down with you. And I was like, dude, I was definitely last summer. August, maybe? So
yeah, I remember because I recall you talking about you're going to do your Kickstarter. So it was way before that. I'm not sure when that came out.
Damn, yeah, and I did the kick. Wow, dude, yeah, no, that. When did I do the Kickstarter? I think it was in September or something. August or September. Dude, yeah, I don't remember, but it was last summer sometime.
Yeah, it's I've been wanting to come on. The problem is very busy, so it's hard. I hardly have time for myself. business and family life is all consuming. So
Yeah.
like today's been such a long fucking day. You get up at 4 a.m, go to the shop, help out, and I've just been roasting all day. Now I made it a point to finally be here, and no matter what happened, I was going to be here. So
Sick.
So I'm here, and tomorrow I got to go open the shop, but that's fine.
Okay, dude. So let's get into it, because I mean, I remember what the greatest thing, actually, I would love to share this part, is that like when I had reached out to you, you were like, yeah, I can give you like 15 minutes. And I was like, damn, this is some like corporate shit almost. But I was like, okay, yeah, no worries. Like I wanted to talk to you because I really needed to, like, I believe I said this to you when I met you. I was like, I really believe that you can learn from people who've done things before. Like, and I'm going into unknown, but so why not arm myself with like some knowledge that somebody who, I mean, I've never met you, but I want to pick your brain because I know you've done it. So we ended up sitting down, and dude, we ended up talking for like an hour anyways.
Yeah, I just let people know I got 15 minutes, and that's pretty much I'm going to be pretty stingy with my time because I don't have a lot of it. But I enjoy talking to you, so.
Yeah,
so
that was pretty dope.
We'll talk a little bit longer. Yeah.
But that was like the original time, and then I mean, when I had sat down, I wanted to pick your brain about like the space and how big it was. But I mean, I want to really get into how you got into coffee roasting, because I remember when you had told me certain things during that meeting, I was like super surprised. Like just your story. I mean, you're kind of detached. Like you're not really, I mean, and I don't mean this in a negative way. You're like not a part of the coffee community in the sense where like, down here in North Park, there's like Hawthorne and Dark Horse and all these things. And there's latte art throwdowns and stuff like that. But you're like off in your own spot, chilling tough. And people go to your spot like packed. Every time I've seen it, line out the door. Yeah. You're the only coffee shop in the area.
There's a Better Buzz down the street.
Oh, there's a Better Buzz down?
And they're actually opening up a spot up the street. So like actual like center Mira Mesa, and Mostra is going to open up around the same area, like central Mira Mesa.
Okay.
So yeah.
Okay, so but let's get into it. Like you have a pretty unique story. Like you said you started at like a coffee cart, and then you grew into like the spot
not even my coffee cart. Because it was my wife. My wife is the one who started a coffee cart in Mission Valley. Okay. Called Morning Bird Coffee. And at the time I was doing an internship for this digital marketing company. And I told them, hey, I have to help my wife out in the mornings because she's at a office park. That's where the coffee cart was located in Mission Valley. Right there where, there's that sushi restaurant that's so popular. I forgot what it's called. Anyway, it's down that area of Mission Valley. And I told him I got to work in the mornings. I got to help my wife so she can deal with the morning rushes because of all the people that are coming into the office. She just started this. She didn't really want to do it. I kind of pushed her to do it just to see what would happen because she was working at a coffee cart before in PB because that's where we lived. So she got the opportunity to open up her own. So I helped out, and I've never drank coffee before this. I didn't care for coffee. I would see lines at Starbucks and all these other spots. Like, I don't even care about coffee. And, and we were like, I was 30. I was 30 when my wife opened up the coffee cart. So I helped her out. Then I started really enjoying my time there, just being around coffee and, like the social interaction, which is much different than, being in the office setting at the time, just looking at a screen, 10, 12 hours a day, doing things I didn't really have like my heart in. So they offered me a job though, and I had to refuse the offer. And I was like, I'm just going to stick it out with my wife and help her grow this little coffee cart, which is it's like 130 square feet. So anyone that's at home listening, that's 13 by 10 feet. You can imagine how small that is. And it was doing well, and it kind of took off, and that's how we started.
And so you grew the coffee cart, but then you said you got like another space like after that or something like that, or you had like a second floor or something like that?
No, we didn't have anything. No.
That was somebody else. I get my stories mixed up. But,
I started roasting. There was another space. I started roasting in my living room in my apartment in PB with a hot top.
Whoa.
That was my roasting space. It was my living room out in the little like patio where the smoke was coming out.
Wait, so who were you buying coffee from to supply the coffee for the coffee cart?
At the time, or was Cafe Virtuoso we were getting a coffee from.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Back in the day shit. Dude,
Yeah,
that's
yeah.
crazy. So how long from the point of you having the coffee cart to roasting your own coffee, like what happened in between that time?
What happened in between that time? So 2014, opened up the coffee cart. Got the space with the roaster. Gosh, I'm gonna say 2016. So the year prior, 2015. I'm probably getting all these dates wrong, but we went to Peru, and we traveled around Peru for quite a bit. And when at a certain stage, we went and stayed at a coffee farm, and we got to sleep there. We did some learned what happens at a coffee farm, because I was really interested to see what the process was and what goes into it. And like everybody else, you get your mind blown how hard the work is and what really goes into maintaining the farm and keeping the quality and helping the people in that community have jobs. And so it was really eye-opening, and that made me have a lot more consideration and understanding for where coffee comes from and the people that are actually behind this this drug that everybody loves, and that fuels everybody here, to see the people that actually pick it and do all the hard work. Yeah.
Did you from that coffee trip form a relationship with that farm?
I did not. No. I wanted to, but at the time I just had a coffee cart, and I have no buying power. I don't have any money.
Yeah.
I didn't really know what I was doing. I just wanted to go to a farm. I didn't even think, I wasn't even in that mindset of I'm going to create these relationships and, showcase this coffee and whatnot, because I wasn't even close to being at that stage yet.
Yeah.
Yeah. So we did that trip, and I learned a lot, and that's where my passion for coffee really came. And then the following year we found that space out there in Miramar, with a coffee roaster already in it. And nothing else. And it was kind of, wow, this is kind of meant to be. And so I just went for it. Yeah.
But you had said some of it was super crazy when I kind of felt like I was oh, I gotta talk to you, really talk to you, was when I had asked you your I guess advice to what, or how did you do it kind of thing, and you were yeah, I just got a bunch of credit cards and maxed them out and then figured it out.
Yeah,
right?
That's exactly what I did.
And I was dude, that's exactly what my mentor did. And because I asked him the same question, I was hey, how did what did you do? And he's I got 3 credit cards and I maxed them out, and then you just grind your work your ass off. And I was just
yeah, dude, those are probably the toughest years. I don't know. Right now it's pretty hard, but it was hard. It was the toughest years of my life, definitely, when you you go all in. Because you just have, I mean, my background, if you knew my childhood story, and I grew up really poor.
Dude, let's get into it. That's why we're here, son. I want to talk about this.
Yeah, so my family went back and forth quite a bit, because I was born here in the U.S. at the age in 1983. I was born here in the U.S. Right, then at the age of 1, my family went back to Portugal, to the Azores, where we're from.
To the what?
Azores, Portuguese islands.
Oh, okay. I've never heard of that.
Yeah. So they're in the middle of the Atlantic Ocean. If you look on the map, there's 9 little islands in the water, and that's where we're from. There's I think there's 55, 60,000 people on the island that I grew up on.
Oh, damn.
Yeah, it's small. So then at the age of 1, my family goes back to Portugal, and then at the age of 6, my family decides to come back to California, because my grandparents told them that we have jobs for you, we can help you out. And then my dad, wanted to come back essentially and try his luck to, a better future for himself and for his kids, but it doesn't always end up like that,
Yeah.
So we come back when I was 6, but then at the age of 10, 11-ish, we go back to Portugal because at that time, I believe Prop 87 came out and they started cracking down on illegal immigration. So my parents were here illegally. And in order for us to go back with something and not get deported, because my parents were really afraid, and my dad lost his second job where he's like cleaning UPS offices or whatnot, we decided to go back with whatever we had. And that was tough because, I was so small. I came from Portugal to the US, not knowing the language, and I was only 6, not knowing anybody. Then at the age of 10, again, get ripped out of this reality that I was used to, going back to Portugal, where now I didn't speak Portuguese anymore, and losing all my friends and like kind of a support system that I had here, going back to Portugal, to a place that was foreign to me now, to a home that was kind of broken down. And I was a fat little kid here, but I got there, I lost a ton of weight because we just didn't have food, it was hard. And that really shaped my mentality to, when I have the capacity, when I'm an adult, this will not ever happen to me,
Yeah.
So when this opportunity came to further our business and our lives, like, yeah, dude, I'm going all in. I do not give a fuck, because it doesn't matter if I have all this debt. Like, okay, if I don't have this debt, what's the difference in my life?
Mm-hmm.
Like, I have to make an investment, and I was going to invest in myself and making a reality for myself where I'll never be in that position where my parents were in. And so that's what I did. And when you wake up in the morning, like, there's nobody to tell you, like, hey man, you're gonna get up, you're gonna exercise, you're gonna go to work, you're gonna give it your all. Like, there's no one gonna tell you to do that stuff. Like, you have to do it for yourself. You have to get up and do it.
Yep.
And that's just reality of life. And if some people got it in them, some don't. Some people, get, like myself, I went through a lot of challenges, and it changed my mindset about how I see things. And like, no one is gonna stop me. Like, I will work 24/7 if I have to achieve my goal. Mm-hmm. And that's essentially what I've tried to do, and that's, I think I'm doing. A lot of hard work, many 18-hour days, 24-hour days. Literally like crying, literally like building a place with my hands. In debt up to my ass, because like, to me, being in that much debt, like over 50 grand or 60 grand, is like, oh my God, like, is this gonna work out? It was fucking insane. But I never stopped, and it was hard because my wife now had, like, I would work the coffee cart all day, and then after I would go to the warehouse where we have the shop now and build it. And
Sick. That's so fucking dope, dude.
Yeah, when you're going through it, it's not dope at all. It's like it's a fucking nightmare. But but you can't grow without challenges. Yep. So many people are afraid or insecure, and they just always take the easy path, or not give all of themselves into something, and like, oh, why didn't it work out for me? It's like, life is hard, man. There's somebody out there giving 200% when you're still when you're only giving 100%. You gotta keep going. You gotta keep going. Yep. It does not matter. Like, and it doesn't matter. And at this point, like, I don't care that I'm misunderstood, because nobody knows what I've gone through and what I keep going through to make this continue to be like successful.
Yeah.
So if someone doesn't understand me, it's okay. Like, I'm not going to try to change your mind.
Yeah, you got your crew already anyways, right? Like, you got your people. So it's like, yo, bro,
yeah, pretty much.
Yeah, it's all good.
Like, I'm not going to waste my time trying to convince people, whoever they might be, of why I decided to do A, B, or C. As a business owner, as a small business owner, like, I have to make certain decisions that other people don't have to make. Mm-hmm. I am put in that position. And that's just how it is. And some people understand, some people won't. But at the end of the day, it's like you got to do what you got to do.
Yep.
And yeah,
Wow.
you just got to keep going. And it doesn't matter how hard it is, you just can't give up.
What was like the turning point in your life that made you be like, damn, I got to do this. I mean, like, I know you say you.
Oh, dude, the turning point was finally finding something that I was remotely like excited to do, which was coffee. Because beforehand, I, like everybody else, worked at a coffee shop, worked at like a bakery type spot, worked at a hotel as a front desk, as a concierge, as a bellman, worked at that digital marketing company, worked in the grocery store for 8 years, doing all, whatever you can think of in the grocery store. I did all those types of jobs. Then I put myself through school, got an internship with the LA Galaxy and with the soccer team. And
wow.
yeah. And I was like, I don't like this either.
Wow.
So I just kept like going into different fields, getting my way in. And nothing would stop me. And until it happened, then I would like see where I was at, see if I enjoyed it. Until I got to coffee. And coffee was the one thing I'm like, okay, I can see myself doing this long term. So that's why all this like all this work and this passion into the coffee shop that I have.
What got you to realize that like roasting was what you needed to do to take your coffee to the next level? Like, because you had the roaster in that space that you wanted to learn, or was it like, damn, I got this roaster?
No, you know what? I got the roaster because I was looking at the business from a different perspective. Like we're paying a lot for wholesale coffee. I was like, this isn't okay because I'm putting in all this work. And when you start looking at green coffee prices and what you're paying for roasted coffee, and if you're not roasting your own coffee, how are you going to build a brand, essentially? Mm-hmm. How are you going to make people want to come out and showcase your product and not somebody else's product? So that's what really motivated me to want to roast. It wasn't my passion for roasting. It was more of the business sense, like how can I make this grow? Because I'm already limited with the coffee car in Mission Valley. So like I need a bigger space. I need like a new brand. I need new marketing ideas. I need new something to like continue this goal of achieving something greater than what I had before.
Yeah. So
when that coffee roaster appeared in that space already set up, and the price that was given, I was like, oh my God, like this is meant to be, and so that's how I got it. Cause I found it through the San Diego Home Roasters Facebook page. There's a member in that group that was selling his roaster that he got as a hobby. So
that's a pretty big roaster for a fucking hobby.
I know. Wow. He was in it. At the time, his name was Andrew. At the time, I guess he was in a different place in his life where he needed to get rid of it and no longer could keep that hobby.
Yeah.
So yeah, I bought it from him.
Wow.
Yeah.
How long ago was that? That was 2016, you said?
I believe 2016, yeah. 2016. I think I actually started roasting 2017. I could be wrong, but yeah, it was like 6-7 years ago.
Did you get did you go to like SCA trainings, or did you have like somebody teach you how to use it, or just that dude Andrew? Or
that dude Andrew showed me how to use it, and then I did go up to San Rafael to do the SCA roaster 1 and 2 levels.
Was it at Boot Campus? Or
it was a boot camp.
Boot
yeah.
Coffee?
Yeah, Boot Coffee. You did?
Yeah. Same exact spot. Marcus
Young. Yeah. Super nice guy.
Super nice.
Yeah. One of the nicest ever.
Dude, they had like this amazing geisha, like on like a AirPod.
Oh.
Like they're like, yeah, go ahead and grab it. It's like a geisha. I was like,
that was my favorite part of every morning going there. It was like drinking the coffee that he had brewed up.
Dude,
so good. I was like, yeah, cool machines, but man, you got that coffee made? Oh my God, it's so good.
Dude, for real. It's like, you're just giving it. He's like, I think he even said, he was like, it's like a 94 geisha. It's like, the fact that you had to even throw the number out there is like,
especially at that time when I feel like I knew nothing. I still kind of feel like I know nothing. But like, oh yeah, you have these geishas. I'm like, what? You got what?
Yeah.
Like it's this, like he's holding like a secret he's going to share with us. So that was great.
They own like a bunch of geisha farms or something, right?
Yeah, they do.
Wow.
Yeah, in Ethiopia.
Wow, that's quite.
Yeah, and their coffee auctions to like Saudi Arabia and places like that for like thousands.
Thousands?
Yeah, thousands. Yeah.
So they're drinking when you go over to Saudi Arabia. If you're going to like, what is that, Dubai?
Oh, have you seen some of the coffee shops out there on social
like,
media? It's like fucking all gold.
Yeah.
It's insane.
Yeah. I want to go out there. It'd be super sick, but I don't even think I could afford like a day. Yeah. Like go to one spot for breakfast and like there's all my money. They're just like, that's everything I have.
Oh man, it looks spectacular. It's like a dream coffee world out there.
I was talking to I'm not trying to say like a name drop here, but it's like Joe Morocco. He was on the show one time.
Oh, nice.
He like was telling me that he's been flown like out to Saudi Arabia and like all these places out there to like teach people how to roast.
Oh wow.
It's like, what? Like,
yeah.
Whoa, that'd be so intense. Like get a call like, hey, can you come to the Middle East, teach me how to roast coffee? I'd be like, yeah. Like, are you paying for the ticket though? Like, what's poppin'? Dude, I'm fucking there. And then here's my consulting fees. There you go.
Yeah.
Like 100%.
They'll probably laugh at your fees. So like, yeah, here.
They're like, that's it.
That's it. Yeah. I was like, okay.
Yeah, come on in. So you took the roaster 1 and 2, and I understand, like, I took the, I don't know, whatever levels of coffee, the foundations or something like that.
Yeah.
Just to do it. But like, did you feel like after taking the roaster 1 class and the roaster 2 class that you were equipped to actually take on roasting enough coffee for a business and for it to taste good? Or did taking those classes and then plus time?
Like looking back at it, no disrespect to anyone that's involved, I would not do it. I would not spend the $5,000 or whatever it was to do level 1 and 2. It wasn't $5,000. It was like 3 something. I don't know. Anyway. Damn. And the amount of time you're there and what I learned, like I would not do it. Yeah. Yeah. I think that might be the one thing that I truly regret.
Damn.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. Met some great people, but not worth that money.
Yeah, that's why I haven't done any of those.
No, and people tell me like unless you're gonna do something to be a Q grader, then I wouldn't do any of those courses.
Dude, that was the only reason I wanted to do it. Like the only one that I did feel that was like, this is the one I would spend money to do is the Q grader. Yeah, 100%. 100%.
Because everything else you can just learn. There's just so many resources out there. You just got to do it. Just riding a fucking bike. You just got to ride it to learn how to ride it and be comfortable with it and see what it can do. Same thing with coffee. You got to practice and practice and practice. Taste. Yep. And that's how you learn. You can get online, watch a bunch of videos, get your tips in, apply them, see what happens, apply it, see what happens. It's just repetitive, but you got to do it. That's how you're going to get good at it.
It's very interesting. It's like it's a trade, right? Like, I mean, roasting coffee, they're like, I remember a couple years back when I was even like starting out in coffee and everybody was so worried about automation and all these things that are going to be like, it's going to replace the barista and all these things. It's like, dude, I don't know. That was 6 years ago. And it's like a lot has changed, but not a lot has changed either. It's like people still just want the coffee and the human experience and doing these things. It's like, I don't know. Maybe it will. Like, yeah, the roasters are getting more advanced technologically, but like, that's if you want to go that path, right? Yeah. Like if you want to do a Loring or something like of those levels, which a lot of people are like,
for sure.
But like,
I mean, I think a lot of big roasters here in San Diego all have Lorings.
Dude, all of them. Bird Rock has them.
I know Virtuoso has it. Who is it? Lofty?
Dude, Lofty has two.
Two
Lorings right next to each other.
Damn.
They're pushing weight, bro.
I guess so.
They got 2 roasters. That's a shout out to Sirius Simmer and Kalsa, and then my boy Brandog from Oceanside. Yeah, they're both roasting. It's pretty dope, actually. So shout out to those homies. Those are my good friends. But yeah, dude, they're all West Bean.
Oh,
West Bean got one too.
Dang, yeah, that's right.
Dude, straight up coffee is.
Doesn't Dark Horse have one?
I don't know anything about anything when it comes to Dark Horse. Like, I don't know anybody who works there. I don't know anybody who is like, I tried to reach out to their roasters before through like a mutual friend, and they were like, no. And I was just like, okay, cool, whatever.
That's the one thing about coffee community here.
It's interesting. It's definitely interesting. I mean, but what's so interesting, I feel like, about the coffee community and just scene in San Diego in general is like of how old it is, and the fact that how Cafe Moto still runs everything. Aside from like all the coffee shops here, Cafe Moto still runs everything. It's crazy.
Yeah, I don't know how deep that goes, but yeah, I've always heard of Cafe Moto. I mean,
dude,
no matter where you go, you're bound to see a Cafe Moto.
It's them and Panikin, because I think
Oh.
I could be wrong, but I think like it was like Panikin and Cafe Moto. They like original owners, and they split.
Yeah, I heard. Yeah, you're right about that. They've been around the longest.
Yeah, they were the first one.
Yeah, so it doesn't surprise me that they have so much,
Well, dude, then I get the dad was like some real estate mogul, and he like owns hella shit around here. So like the building that Inter American's in is owned by Cafe Moto.
Oh shit!
That's what I'm saying, bro. Like, yo, fuck it, they ain't no gays. They're like running shit out here. They're running.
They're original OGs.
They're the OGs. They're like the coffee mafia.
Yeah.
Like, yo, but I mean, I don't really know if that's true. But
no,
like,
I don't know either.
But yeah, it's very interesting. Like, there's that, and then it's just like there's still so much room to grow, which is like kind of crazy.
Yeah, San Diego's massive.
It's so fucking big.
It's so big.
It's like, dude.
But damn, now, I mean, you gotta have money though,
You gotta have money, but it's like
because nowadays when you get a space and it has nothing in it, just the investment, that's scary.
What do you mean?
Well, the cost. You gotta get new machines, new equipment, new everything, refrigeration, drainage, everything. That's easily like $100,000.
Yeah. Yeah, like I would just say to get a place started, it's like 150, like easy.
Easy when you start thinking like if you're gonna do it proper, your permits and your plans and your architects and everybody else is involved. Yeah,
dude. I mean, it's interesting though because like you have a very interesting spot because like even though you're saying this, I know your space and I know you didn't have to do all that because of the way you built your spot.
Yeah,
and that's the thing. That's what it's like. It's almost contrary to what we were just saying because like when I was originally going to do the coffee truck with the Kickstarter, it was probably going to be, I think I rounded it out to like basically 150K, which it would have been, I think it was like 138 like out the door, but I didn't like calculate tax. I'm like, let's just add tax and all that shit. 150K. It's a driving cafe. That's what it is. That's all it is. So what's interesting, though, is that when you get a space, if you can get a space at a moderate price, which is almost next to impossible in San Diego, what I've seen, like what Steel Mill did, they like built coffee carts.
Yeah.
That's it.
That's what we did, too.
Exactly.
That's the route.
That's the way to go. It's cheaper.
Oh, yeah. Way cheaper.
You're able to, like, technically move it, so you're able to do these things, but to your point, I would definitely say one thing and that I thought about a lot, and this is, I mean, whether you like it or not, you have to think about it. It's like, is it Instagrammable? Is your shop Instagrammable?
Oh, yeah.
Is it like something cute that these girls are going to want to like sit next to, or like, just your normal maybe family or a couple are going to be like, oh my God, I love going there. The vibe's great. The art's cool. The scene is so cool. There's like a wall that they could fucking take pictures next to and stuff like that.
That shit. Yeah.
I was talking about this the other day. I was like, yeah, if I got a space, like tables, paint, fix up a couple things. It's like it's really fine. I was like, I honestly feel like I'm gonna spend more money on the art. Like, like fuck, like
like the
framing,
interior,
the interior and stuff like that is like, I feel like I know what I can do with a certain amount of cost. Like if I can get like 85 to like 100K, I know I can make a cafe, no problem. Like no problem. Now it's like, how sustainable are certain things and what can you do to like cut, like not cut corners, because I'm not trying to cut corners, but like how you can keep costs down. So it's like still be super dope, but with costs down. Hey, hello Amazon, how are we doing? Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, so I don't know. It's very interesting because it's like, if you move into that realm of building the fucking the bar out and making like a real brick and mortar, in the sense where like, yo, you're not leaving. Like, you know what I mean?
That's coffee is like a long-term investment. You're in it for like, you're not in it for just the first 3, 4, 5 years. You're in it for like
long haul.
Long haul to start making money. You got to do it. You got to put in the investment, you got to put in the time, and you just got to like you got to face the fact that you're going to be doing it for a while so you can eventually turn a profit. And you got staff, and you got your build out costs, and you got everything else, and so dude, it's gonna be a long time until you start seeing some money.
How long have you been in business now? 2014, you said?
Yeah, so 2014. 7. Yeah.
When did you make the switch to Jaunt?
Jaunt opened July 2018, I believe. Yeah, 2018. So about 4 years after. But it's like I told you, I built that place with help, but a lot of it myself. And it took like a year just to build it. And if you look at my place, like it's like, why did this take a year to build? It's not even that big. Like, yeah, I didn't have resources. I had credit cards. Like, it's not like I had fantastic credit to get a ton of money.
Yeah.
So I did what I could with what I had, and that's why it took a long time. And the people that are supposed to help you, sometimes they don't move very fast, or they don't really care, because you can't give a lot.
Yeah. So
it took a super long time. Yeah. Damn. Yeah, it was hard, man. Yeah, and then the year before, I went to Europe. I went back home to see my family. I believe it was 2017. I went to Europe. Then I went to after visiting my family in Portugal, I went to like Turkey. I went to Germany. I went to Denmark, and I was going to all these different coffee roasters and stuff like that. And that also gave me a lot of motivation, enthusiasm to do what I'm doing now.
Sick. To
see those spots and having great coffee all over Europe was a great experience for me. And talked to a lot of people, learned a lot. So that definitely influenced me as well.
In comparison to the third wave specialty coffee shops here, what was it like in Europe? I mean, was it relatively the same, or was
well, I guess it depends on who we're talking about. Their menus are much smaller. There are no 16-ounce drinks and the whipped cream and all that bullshit. They're just straight up, they just drink their cappuccinos, flat whites, espresso. That's basically it.
Yeah. Yeah. It's
not a massive menu, and coffee is a little bit different there in terms of culture. Here people use it honestly like a drug to fuel them to start their day. Like, oh, I need my coffee type mentality. As out there, it's more to socialize, to hang out with friends, and it's not to pound 20 ounces of milk with a little bit of coffee in it. That's sugary and sweet.
It's a bar for the morning.
Yeah,
it's the morning bar.
It is, and it was different too when I went to South America, because I also did a trip to Colombia at the end of 2018, and coffee there is, the relationship with coffee is different too. It's a lot more it's more, in my opinion, family focused. A lot of families get together, like, oh, let's have a coffee, even if it's like 8 at night or 9 at night. Like, oh, let's have a coffee. it's different. It's like it's interesting how in Europe and South America, it's so different than how people approach coffee here. I mean, in the cultural aspect of it.
I would have to agree, but I would also like at the same time, I would definitely say with like an asterisk to that point would be like, I think as a culture for like Americans, like you're fucking red, white, and blue, like just all around American, you know?
No,
that's
like, that's why when I initially said it, it's like, it depends on the place you go.
Yeah. It's like being like, from what I would consider like my Latin family, right? So my Mexican side of my family, like to your point, dude, very family oriented. Like I can't tell you how many, and then in my extended family and then in my immediate family. So like my grandmother and then like that side of the family and then my mother and my own father. That's why I have my love for coffee is because like my dad would do that same thing. Be like, dude, 6, 7 o'clock at night. Sometimes we'd go to a movie and then after the movie he's like, hey, do you want to like grab a coffee? It's like, yeah. And then we'd sit there and like just talk, and like whatever. Or like me and my mom, same thing. So it's like my grandmother, dude, making like coffee for my grandmother and like sitting there and just like talking and having pan dulce and stuff like that. It's like, fuck yeah, but it's also what I realized. It's like, it has a lot to do with like Latin culture, at least from what I've seen. Like, but also it's like biased because I'm Mexican. So it's like, I don't know. Like, I definitely would say like, I lived in France too. I lived in Aix-en-Provence, in the south of France, and definitely would agree too. Like the coffee house was definitely more of just like, you have like a little table, you have your little spoon, sometimes a little sugar depending on what you're doing, and then you just socialize. Sometimes there's the market right there, that like the daily market,
right.
that. So it's like, I don't know, I fucking think it's dope. Like that's why I love coffee so much, because it's like you can lose sight of it, especially being like a business owner and like,
oh yeah, for sure you can.
The focus, shifts.
Oh, big time, yeah.
But at the end of the day, when you're able to like sit down with a coffee and like just kind of have a moment, like, dude, I swear to God, that's what I live for. It's like, I don't need a lot in life. I just need like little things, and that's like one of them.
Yeah, I sometimes I think about that too, how much I miss that aspect. Before I had a like Jaunt, I too would go to different shops around town and like romanticize like everybody else. Like, oh man, just there with my macchiato, just taking it all in, looking at the walls, the art, the vibe, just drinking, just like romanticizing the fuck out of it. It's like, oh my God, this would be so amazing to have my own shop. Now that I have my own shop, I'm like, fuck all this. Like, I cannot, like the romance is gone. Like people probably look at me thinking I'm serious or mean all the time, because I'm always like thinking about like, what is it that I need to do? Like what I have to complete today so that the rest of my week can be okay, and I'm always thinking, I'm always doing something. It's like like when I first walked into the shop we have now, I was like, oh wow, look, like I did this like in the middle of nowhere, and people are gonna come here and they're gonna say, what the fuck is this? Like this, like where are we in this industrial park in Miramar? And there's this little tiny spot here that looks amazing with coffee. I saw it. That's like, that was my vision for that space. Now when I go there, it's like, fuck, what do I got to do now? It's like, I got to do this. I got to, so many tasks to do, so many things to complete. Just the thing of being a business owner is like 24/7. It is relentless. Always. And you got to be so resilient to just keep going. And that is like, to me, that's the main thing now. You just got to be resilient. You got to keep going,
Do you ever make lists? Because I know what you're talking about, like all the tasks and stuff, but dude, like I could show you my phone right now. I have daily lists and I just check them off. Like on the phone, like you can do that little bubble and like it, like just press it in yellow and it's like boom, it pops up. It's like checked off, done. But like I'm constantly, every morning when I'm waking up with my morning coffee, I just start making a list of shit I gotta do today.
Yeah, I do that. I don't use my phone for that. I just use a pen and paper. A lot of shit comes up while I'm roasting. I'm roasting coffee and shit just pops in my head. I was like, oh yeah, we need to get this, we need to get that. So I just started doing a small list for myself. But yeah, that list is endless.
Yep.
Yeah.
It never ends.
It never ends, and every day there's something to add to it. Yeah.
Well, you have a family. So how do you find balance between being a 24/7 business owner managing your employees, managing roasting coffee,
Mm-hmm.
managing the business, but then still like having like a what they hypothetically call like a work-life balance.
That doesn't exist.
Yeah.
You just try to, something has to give, and it's sleep. I just don't sleep very much.
Mm-hmm.
I know if I keep doing what I'm doing, it's going to hurt me big time. And there won't be anything else. Like if I don't have health, then nothing else matters. So I have to, and I have been trying to shift that. And, at a certain point, like, all right, today's done. And I'm not going to like look at my phone or see what's going on. And I start my days off early so that I can leave early so I can spend time with my daughter. She's only 2. And like, I don't want to miss this special stage of her life. And, I want to try to spend more time with my wife as well, because we don't have help with our kid. It's just us 2.
Yeah.
So that's very hard on the mother. So I try to get shit done fast. And I try to be there in the important moments and the important parts of the days and the weeks. I try to give myself off 2-3 days a week. And when I am off, then I spend that time just mostly with my daughter.
Wow, you're able to get 2 to 3 days off?
Yeah.
I applaud you for that, my friend.
But I'm getting up like
you're still working.
I'm getting up at some days at 2, some days at 3, some days at 4. Whoa. Roasting, doing the shopping for the shop. Doing payroll. I just did payroll before coming here to see you.
Damn.
Yeah. And I just roasted all day. What I got to do tomorrow? Tomorrow I got to go do some shopping. I got to do some more roasting for our shop. I don't know. Something else is going to come. Something else is going to have to be done. But I try to jam pack everything to 4 long days so that I can have 3 days for my family.
Damn.
Yeah, but even then, those 3 days, I'm not really off.
Yeah.
I'm not off. Yeah. You're always doing something, or something happens, and it's just endless.
I know how it goes.
Yeah,
I definitely know how it goes.
It's 3 days, but I'm not really off those 3 days. It's like, I think it will be a dream one day when I'm actually off, and nothing, like no one can call me, no one can tell me anything. And that's why like Christmas comes and New Year's, where we close the shop, it's the only time I felt like stress free.
Damn.
Because the shop was closed and no one can tell me that they're calling out sick, that we need A, B, or C, that this happened and this person is here. It's like, you don't know. It's like, I guess you do know, but a lot of listeners right now don't know how hard it is to constantly have to be on edge and like just ready.
To be ready, bro.
Always. 24/7. Like I don't like wake up at 6:30, go work my shift from 7 to 2, done, go home, chill, watch Netflix. Oh, next day I'll do it again. Like that doesn't happen for me.
Yeah, no.
Like they're like, oh, do you even know who's in the World Series of baseball? I'm like, I don't even know who the fuck's playing right now. Like I don't even know what the fuck's going on in the world. That's how consuming it is. It's not healthy. Yeah. And that's the one thing I'm super afraid of is my health taking a big hit because of this fucking monster of owning a business.
Do you work out? Like exercise at least to get some
No,
energy out?
I don't.
Damn, you don't.
I'm on my feet all day, back and forth. But no, like, and that's another thing, like, eating clean, eating healthy. Mm-hmm. Sometimes you're just so fucking hungry, you're just gonna eat whatever's at the shop.
Yeah.
And then
donuts, like all the time.
And that's another thing I got to make time for is exercise, at least like 45 minutes to an hour of exercise or something. You got to take care of yourself. And I feel like I'm finally getting there. So I'm really happy about that because it's the first time that I felt like, okay, the shop's at a place where I feel like I can let go a little bit and have more help. But now, that's difficult as well because it's just the reality that we live in. And everything that's been happening. But I hope that I can get there so that I can have somewhat of a normal life, or whatever is normal for me at that time, but better than being on call 24/7.
Dude, I know. Kind of bringing it back to what you were saying, some people aren't built for it. It's like, dude, what I've realized about myself, I think over the last year of taking on a business, and then like also doing like the MMA promotion stuff and like all the other side projects and shit that I do. It's like, bro, I definitely think I am built for it. Like in that sense where like I fucking just love the grind. Like there's a lyric that one of my favorite rappers, like R.I.P. to Young Dolph, he has this lyric. He's like, I met this little shawty. She said, like, what do you like to do? He's like, I said, shit, grind. She's like, okay, what else do you like to do? He said, well, shit, grind. And I was like, yo, that's like me, son. I swear to God, Young Dolph. Same. But like, that's, I don't know, man. I thrive on it. I think it's also because like the situation that I'm in right now, like I don't have anybody else depending on me but me.
Yeah, that's what that's what I was gonna say. Like, it's not my choice. It's not like I didn't like, oh yeah, I'm gonna like just fucking grind and hustle every day. It's not like I'm doing. I have nobody else but me. Yeah. And now I have a kid and I have a wife, and I'm taking care of my family essentially. That's tight. And like, there's nobody that I can call on. Like zero.
Yeah.
Nobody. Just me. So yeah, I'm going to get up.
That's dope.
2, 3 and do my thing, whatever that is. That, some people will hear this thing, this guy's fucking crazy. It's like, why? Why are you doing that to yourself?
Because you're fucking G.
No. If I could have it differently, I would. It's like this because of the circumstance, and because I want to build something. Yeah. No one's going to build it for me. I have to do it. Mm-hmm. It's just like anything else in life. When you're talking about people being built for this or not, it's like, it just really depends on like what they want. Like, what do you want out of your life, out of your reality? Like, what is that you want? And then whatever it is, then you got to go like 200% in. You got to go
all money in, baby.
You have to. You can't just wait for others to do things for you, or for opportunity to show up without you putting in the time or the effort to make that opportunity happen, or that door to open for yourself. You can't just be hanging around hoping for others to do stuff for you. It's not going to happen. You assert yourself, Yeah. You're going to have to.
You hang around the barbershop long enough, you'll get a haircut type deal. It's like, nah, it ain't going to happen that way, son. They're going to look at you and be like, damn, boy, you need a haircut.
Yeah.
$15.
Yeah. Yeah.
I would definitely say... a lot of people do not strive to be better. They want to complain. They want to do these things. At least in my opinion. Mm-hmm. I definitely don't think a lot of people will strive to change and to take on the responsibilities that end up coming with these.
Oh, for sure.
Things.
Yeah.
I don't know. I like to suffer in a sense that like, I think, okay, so I like where I was going with that is like, I think my favorite thing about doing what I do is that I'm able to like have the freedom to do what I want to do when I want, essentially. Right. So like this morning, like I have my day broken up into like at least the first half of the day, pretty much from 9, 12 and 3 PM. Those are like social media postings, like at videos for like both brands. Mm-hmm. And then whatever in between all that is like roasting and like marketing and doing all those other things. But like that's broken down. And then in between that though, it's like if I miss my morning workout, then I'm going to be like, yo, I'm going to go at like 10 or something like that. Mm-hmm. But I'm able to make it happen. So it's like, okay, from like, 10 to 12, I'm going to be at the gym for 2 hours, hit the bag, do this. And y'all check and answer phone calls or emails if they come up in between it. But, you have that luxury to leave in the middle of the day and then do that. But it's like, how much time are you willing to work into the late hours of the night? It's like you're going to work out in the middle of the day when other people are working. Mm-hmm. How late are you going to work past the time people aren't working no more? Mm-hmm. So it's like, like for a perfect example. So at one point, this was recently too. Like I don't remember when I did it, but I needed to make some extra money for something. Oh, it was right before I got the MMA job. That's what it was. I took a job at Amazon working the 12 to 4 a.m. shift on top of like at like doing boxes.
Oh, fuck.
Yeah, just to go do it. Because I was like, I want some extra money.
Yeah,
and
yeah.
I was like, I'm doing Steel Mill, I'm doing Caffeine and Green. And then I was like, okay, I'm going to do Amazon. So I would do Amazon from 12 to 4. And I would basically come back home, sleep till maybe like 10, go to the gym from like 12 to 2. And then from like 2 to like basically whenever I would do like Caffeine and Green and Steel Mill, like roast or whatever, and then like go back to Amazon. Or I would do like if it was Wednesdays or Fridays, I would work from 12 to 4, go to Steel Mill, sleep in my car until 6, open the shop, work until like 2:30, and then get back to San Diego around like 3:30, sleep for 2 hours, go to training.
Damn.
And then like just restart the whole
That's
day.
a day.
Dude, that was for like
That's a day.
that was a month of that. It was fucked. Dude, yeah.
Yeah, man, but it builds character. It builds something in you that's like, yeah, it's almost like you don't have words for. Like it makes you mentally strong. Like shit doesn't bother you as much, and you're able to accomplish a lot more. You know, if you don't challenge yourself, then you can never truly grow.
Dude, the growth, I feel like growth only happens when you are extremely challenged or like you're backed into a corner, right?
Oh
like,
yeah,
like,
shit has got to happen for you to learn and for you to grow and to acquire knowledge, and that's how it's done. Like the easy way or the chill way, it's like how far are you gonna get? But it just depends on the person that you are as well. Some people have ambitions and aspirations that maybe others don't. So it's to each their own.
It's funny you say that though. I had a conversation with a younger gentleman one time. Dude, he was fuck. I say younger, but it's like I have friends who are younger than he is, but like I don't know. He's one of the, I guess I could say he's one of the more privileged younger gentlemen that I've actually had the privilege to speak with. But I think he's 22, maybe 23. But we got in like a conversation, and he was talking about like he was saying something, and I was like, bro, I don't take this the wrong way, but I was like, you're a little bit like you're spoon fed, like. And he's like, I know that's not my fault. Like I'm not saying it's your fault, bro. But it's like your points are missing. They're lacking because like you don't have real life experience, and because you've had a silver spoon. And like again, if you've had it, no hate. But he was like, his whole thing was that he feels that he is lacking in his experience because he's not had to face adversity yet in his life at 23. And I was like, you're very lucky that you haven't had to face adversity. Being that old in your life, like nothing's bad happened to you. You haven't had any major injuries. You've gone to college. You graduated with a degree. You've had a very, very pleasant life. The fact that you're complaining that you haven't had any adversity is like so odd to me, but it's like, it's a different perspective, right? It's like different playing fields. Yeah. And it's like, no hate, bro. But it was just like, he is resilient, but it's like, if he hasn't been tested yet, how resilient is he?
Exactly.
Like it was just some food for thought that I had, after I had that conversation with that young man, I was like, huh. Cause I was like, I would try to describe something to him, and he just wasn't like, it wasn't clicking.
Yeah. And as a dad myself, I think about my daughter too. It's like what this guy's reality that you're just talking about. Like that's probably all his parents wanted for him, to have like a good life. Yeah. And to not go through the struggles that maybe they went through. And that's pretty much like every single parent's wish is to provide the best for their kids, but then at the same time it could be harmful, but in a different way. in terms of, you know, your resilience to life, and how you can handle reality, and like socializing, and you know, not be behind screens all day, and that be your life, and you go out into the world, and everything's so scary, you know. I can't hold a job because you know, it doesn't feel comfortable.
Well, that's the thing is like, what's interesting about him is that this guy, he played sports, so he's very, very good. Like, he knows how to like put his, you know, what is it, the nose to the grindstone or something like that.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, grind, whatever. But like, he fucking, I don't know. Like, I think in my experience, I think for me, what it was is like, definitely sports, definitely fighting, like martial arts, like these things, especially like street fighting, like getting in trouble, getting in like just violence, essentially. Those things like plagued my early childhood and like growing up, and just like that's how I've learned how to be like tougher around people. But then it was like school was hard, but school was actually pretty easy. It was sports and fighting that got me in trouble a lot. But I don't know. Those were the things that made me as resilient as I am. It was like I always shied away from the things that were easy because I was like, if I use my brain, that's easy. It's the physical things that I am constantly being challenged with that made me more resilient. But then as I've gotten older and my body doesn't like, it bounces back still, but it's taken a little bit more time now.
Mm-hmm.
I've definitely started to like go more towards using my brain. And it's like, sometimes I'm like, this is not supposed to be what feels like this easy because of the fact that I'm used to like battling tricks for hours, like skateboarding, or getting dropped, like from getting like dropping my hand, or like getting caught on the end of a kick and then getting kicked in the solar plexus and like keeling over, like, you know, those are the things that I think and I consider are hard. You know, like somebody's going to combat violence with you. That's something hard to overcome. Like, oh, this is scary. We don't know how this is going to turn out. But then it's like, oh, you have to fill out this paperwork and it's just fucking tedious. Or you got to go roast all this coffee and it's going to take forever. But it's like, it's going to take like 8 hours. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
This is nothing. Like, I can do these battles and break my body off, and I shy away from using my brain. But now that I'm just using my brain and not destroying my body as much, I'm like, well, you know, like, this is easy. Like, it's just grinding. It's just putting in the time, putting in the work, like with sports, but just using your brain to preserve the body. Fucking, yeah, I don't know. I think everything that like yourself, like when the childhood aspect of it, I just feel like that shaped who I am, and to the point where it's like, I think I had a VP of operations one time say to me, she's like, "You're spicy." She's like, "Don't ever lose that spice." I was like, I feel what you're saying with so little words.
so much could be taken from that.
Dude, that's what I'm saying. You know, it's just like, I don't know, man. That's like what Caffeine and Green is about. I mean, I'm not trying to do this as like a plug for the brand or anything like that. So it's like, but that's 100% why I started what I started, because of the hustle, of the motivation. So I got it tatted on my arm from like Nipsey Hussle. It was like, this dude would rap about how he got it from nothing. And it's like, and all rappers and all hip hop people, like what I'm sincerely motivated by, like all started that way, out the mud, you know, all these shit, out the dirt, whatever. You pick a fucking acronym.
Yep.
Like an analogy, whatever. But like, I don't know. There was something about the way he talked about it, how he got it. He's like, it was just so like, God damn, is it like, yes, son? And I just felt it. And it moved me to a point where it was like, these lyrics and these things I was just like listening to, repeating and repeating and repeating, because I grind so hard. I felt like when people talk about how like they feel like artists are talking to them, like the things he was saying I could relate to so hard, because of like, you know, being counted out, like breaking your shit off, like facing adversity, like, you know, breaking my back or like dislocating my hip, and like doing these things that were fucked. Like, and then you overcome it to like get back to where you were, and then you get better, and then you fall, and you like take 2 steps forward, take 10 steps back, or whatever, 2 back, 10 forward, whatever. I don't care. But like, it's like with all those things, and then I hear that song, and it like motivated me to do everything about what it is Caffeine and Green is. It's about hustling. It's about like just grinding every day, getting up. I don't give a fuck if it's 2:00 in the morning.
Yeah.
You're getting it done. And that's like, it's so much more. Like I promote my fight team and like my people who are like working out and doing like my ambassadors and shit. But like at the end of the day, it's like, it's so much more than people who are just fighting. It's so much more about like everybody doing exactly what you're doing, supporting your family, making, like blazing your own path. You know what I'm saying? Like that shit to me, I get so excited. And you're like, I was like, it's dope. You're like, I wish it could be something else, at a different way. But for me, like, I thrive off that shit, dude. It's crazy.
I know. I know what you're saying. Yeah, but after a while though, it takes its toll, like grinding for so hard for so long. Yeah. Without the crew that I have now, like, I don't think I could keep doing, like, I have a solid crew, like my employees, like amazing.
Everybody's super nice. Every time I've gone there, super nice.
Super nice. Pretty much always in a good mood.
Yeah.
Awesome customer service, like, yes, I created Jaunt, but without these guys, like Jaunt wouldn't exist. They are more Jaunt. They are Jaunt. Like, I'm just in the background now. These guys are like the face. These are the guys that come in every day and like have to listen to, have to get the orders and like make the drinks and listen to every little thing that a customer has to say and put all their problems on them, for that minute, and make them laugh and make them feel good and make them feel like this is your community spot. Yeah. And that's what we've kind of done with Jaunt. And that is literally all of them. Like, without them, there is no Jaunt.
Yeah. So,
yes, I put in all that time and all that hard work and everything else behind, but it wouldn't be what it is without them.
Yeah.
So you got to have a solid crew that like you can trust and believe in, and without that, it's hard forging your own path. You got to have like,
hell yeah.
Yeah, you got to have some support.
Do you why Jaunt? What was
Jaunt?
What was the motivation behind the name?
Jaunt, it just means taking the trip for pleasure, and that's exactly what I did when I took that trip to Peru, learned about coffee. When I took the trip back home to Portugal, then went to around Europe to all the coffee roasteries and talked and drank a lot of coffee, and then I went to Mexico, did a coffee trip for a week. Then I went to Colombia, and all these trips that were taken just felt like trips of coffee pleasure. And that's exactly what Jaunt means, a trip for pleasure. Damn. In my case, a trip for coffee pleasure.
And how'd you pick out the logo?
Pick out the logo. I was just thinking about really the traveling that I did, and I was just imagining like this old guy traveling around with this travel map back in the days, right? Like the gypsy days. Yeah. When he's just traveling around with his map, looking for coffee farms, and and that's where the logo comes from. Sick. Yeah. That's it.
How many coffees right now are you do you have on bar, or like serving or roasting, or
coffees? I have Bo's here. I got, for pour over, we have 4 right now. And then we have our Mexico for drip, our Guatemala for espresso.
Single origin?
Mm-hmm.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah. Yeah, and then I don't know how many. I think we have like 8 or 9 now coffees that I roasted that we submitted to Coffee Review and got 90+ scores on them. So
what?
Yeah.
What? Yo. Whoa. Like recently?
Yeah, I have some on our pour over menu right now.
Dude, you need to tell me how to. I was just thinking about how, like, I was like, I need to start entering like coffee roasting competitions, but I was like, how do I do this? I have no idea, but I literally had that idea. How do you do that?
You just mail it to them.
You just mail them
You
coffee?
Just mail coffee.
Dude.
Yeah, you reach out to them and tell them what you're trying to do. Is, hey, I'd like to get my coffee reviewed. They're professional Q graders. That's what they do for a living. They've been doing it for so long. To me, they're kind of the guide to where like everybody submits the coffee to them. So like who would have a better palate to judge against coffee that's coming in from Bird Rock, coming from me, or coming from roasters out on the East Coast or wherever in the world submitting their coffee. Like these people are drinking all these coffees. They know how you're going to score them or what they're tasting.
Yeah.
So I feel like they have the best knowledge and experience to rate a coffee. So that's why I submit my coffee, and it's expensive, to have them review your coffee or like give you.
Damn, you pay them to do it?
Yeah, you gotta pay.
What?
Yeah, you gotta pay, dude. Yeah.
Fuck.
I know, but then I'm thinking, is this worth it? And then, yeah, it is worth it because all of a sudden I started getting coffee orders from the East Coast. Like my Ethiopian coffees now are more people in New York and Boston drink my Ethiopian coffee than people here in San Diego do.
What?
Yeah, just all that because of Coffee Review. And then people are like, why are you using Coffee Review? Like, why are you submitting your coffee? It's like, well, where the fuck do you find good coffee? Is there like a Google for like 90 plus coffees?
Wait, so, well, that was going to be my next question. So like people who, do they promote your coffee after they grade it for you?
They don't promote it. They sometimes send out like, here's our top coffees for this month to their subscribers, right?
Okay.
And then maybe maybe your coffee is at the top of the list that month or whatever else. Or people go through the list and find your coffee and place orders. So that's what I imagine happened to my coffee. Like, how does it explain like so many people from New York placing an order for Ethiopian coffee?
Dude,
I don't know.
it's so badass. It's got. I want to like. I'm always looking for like new shit to do, and it's like that's so interesting to me. It's like what? How? Like okay, cool. Yeah, I want to do.
Yeah,
that.
it's a super simple process. Anyone that wants to get their coffee evaluated should do it. I mean, it doesn't mean anything. Just because they think it's great doesn't mean like that Joe from Montana thinks it's great.
Oh yeah,
it doesn't mean anything. But let's say I'm a coffee fanatic and I'm searching for good coffee. Where am I going to go? I'm going to go to Coffee Review because that's where all the 90 plus coffees are at. Or according to them, it's 90 plus coffees, but it's going to be good coffee either way. So people are going to use that as their search engine, just like people here use Yelp to find whatever restaurant they're looking for, wherever the location they're at, right? Mm-hmm. They want to find the best. So that's what people do on Coffee Review. To find the best coffee, they go to Coffee Review. They're not just going to like Google best coffee, Yeah. Like where do you go to find good coffee? Coffee Review.
Do you still find yourself trying other coffee shops, even though when
I have time, perhaps I do.
Yeah.
I don't remember the last one I went to. Maybe Mostra. I went to Mostra, and I think that's the most recent one. I've been to La Mañana. I just don't have a lot of time to be checking out shops, though. That's the thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Plus, you get coffee for free, so it's kind of like,
Yeah, that too. No, but I like going to different shops, seeing what people are like, what they're doing, what they're serving. If there's like something new that shops are doing that I don't know about, because I've never worked in specialty coffee. I've never that's not my background. Mm-hmm. All I know is a fucking coffee cart in Mission Valley.
Yeah.
And from going to like romanticizing on these coffee trips I would do around town to all these different shops and seeing how things are done, and literally being that weirdo that all baristas hate, being a creep in the corner just staring at them, studying their every move.
Yeah.
Like I was that dude, just trying to like learn, just trying to see like how things are done, what's on the menu, and like. So yeah, I've never worked in specialty coffee, but yeah, that's how.
I mean, dude, that's I don't remember at what point in the conversation now, but like the one thing that I think I can relate to, I mean, I've had the been very lucky in the sense where I haven't had to take on the financial burden yet of fully doing a coffee shop, but I've helped multiple people either like train, help them roast, help them start multiple cafes. So I've seen everything from like the day they open to like set up to all this stuff, and then running the whole operation and running the operation smoothly. It's a unique position to be in, I feel like, but it's also like it kind of groomed me for the path that I'm going down, I feel like. That being said, though, I mean, the romanticizing, like, I don't know, I definitely find myself doing that a lot and like critiquing places when I'm walking in them, and I'm like, this could be this way, this could be this way, but like I'm like, I don't want to be a hater, so it's like in my head I'm just making these mental notes and checklists or whatever. But I don't know. I am a weirdo in the sense that like I thoroughly enjoy doing all of that shit, and it's so tedious and time consuming, and there's some days it just won't end. But for some reason I'm just like, dude, I fucking love this. Like, it's so sick, and I just get so pumped every time I'm there. Or even if I get to hop behind bar and actually like make people drinks, that's my favorite. Like,
making drinks,
absolute favorite. More than even roasting. Roasting's by far my favorite. But like, if we're talking like one thing I'd want to do day in and day out, even more than roasting, would be like just talking to the locals, like the regulars every day. They're super sick because they get so stoked when they see you, and they feel like they know who you are.
Yeah.
But they don't really know who you are.
I know.
Like, it's like,
they don't.
Or maybe they follow you on Instagram, like, oh my god, I saw your thing. Like, tell me about that. And
yeah,
like,
yeah.
You have this rapport, but it's like you're a part of their day, and you're a part of their day, and they're a part of yours, and it's like, I don't know, that give and take of that positive energy to get the day going, it gets me fucking stoked.
Yeah, dude. In the beginning, when I first opened Jaunt, it was just myself. I'd go in, roast coffee at 2 a.m, open the shop, work all day, close the shop, do it over again. But during that time is when I made the best relations with the customers that were coming in, the regulars, because I actually had time to talk to them.
Yeah,
and get to know them. There wasn't a line out the door where you're just like rushing, trying to get everything out in a precise fashion, but quickly, and not getting through the line. And now it's like that because we're just so busy that it's hard to form those relationships. But like I said, going back to my guys that work with me, they find ways to do that, even if they're not dealing with the customer directly. Like, even if you're behind the machine and you're making a drink, like our guys are still talking to the customer, making them feel like welcomed, and that that we care about you, and like, because if it wasn't for our regulars, this people have been coming for the shop since it's been open for 3 years, and it's amazing to see them. Like, but now, like, when they see me, like, I'm always like roasting or doing something. Sometimes I don't even see them, but I know that there's a special connection with our guys that are behind the bar, and that's that's special, because you don't know like who's coming in, where they're going, and what impact you're having on them that day. But for sure, having that customer relation is very special. Sadly, I no longer can really do that, just because of the nature of where I'm at right now. But yeah, I can see why you love being behind the bar and just making people drinks, pour overs, whatever it is, and just engaging, right?
Yeah, that's mainly, honestly, it's mainly just the latte art. So I skipped over being a barista, like, completely. I just went straight from doing dishes to roasting.
Wow.
Because like I just would hound Steve like super hard, just like, yo, I want to roast.
Steve is
Steve Rail. He's the owner of Zoom Bar.
Ah, okay.
Yeah. I just would hound him, dude. Just talk about what you're talking about. Like, you have to go after what you want.
Yeah.
That's what I wanted. I wanted to roast, and that's all I wanted to do. I was like, I don't give a fuck about the barista at the espresso machine. I don't care. Like, they had this manager. His name was Ray, and he was like super coffee geek about espresso and like finding it to like in this perfect parameter. That's where the perfect shot is and stuff. It's like, tight. I don't care. And it was like pour overs, French press. Yeah. Brew methods all day. Espresso, don't care. I don't want to know. As like brew methods, roasting. That's all I wanted to do. And then, and then eventually, you know, as if you work in coffee and then, you know, you eventually want to open up a coffee shop, I was like, oh, I should probably learn espresso.
Oh, for sure.
You know, but it was only because of roasting that I got into it, because they made me start drinking espresso, because they were like, my first assignment was, they're like, Kano, you're going to roast on Fridays and you're going to roast the espresso for the whole shop or both shops. And I was like, what? I was like, you're going to make me roast the espresso? Oh shit. And they're like, yeah, you got to go try it. Yeah. And then like, I was like, oh, fuck. Like, all right. And then, so I told Steve, I was like, I don't like espresso. And he was like, drink an Americano and do it until you drink it. And like, or do it until you like it. And I was just like, okay. And so I would just drink Americanos to like get the taste. And then I started drinking espressos to like really get it. But I remember the first espresso that I had actually like drank of my own while I was in the Cardiff Zoom bar. And I remember like sipping it and I was just like,
this is disgusting.
I was like, fuck. It was like my fucking head hurts. Like I felt like I got punched in the face, but it was like,
yeah, it's such a concentration of flavor, you know? Yeah, that's why I love like long blacks. Just same amount of water to espresso, and it just opens up so much. You know, I love it.
See, I think for me personally, in my own experience, I would definitely say if you really want to know how your espresso tastes, drink it on an Americano, and long black, whatever, however you want to do it. That way of doing it, to your point, is like I definitely agree. You can like even more so than in the espresso shot, you can taste the defects, or if it's over roasty or whatever, you can tell the defects in the coffee in an Americano easier, in my opinion. I mean, if you have to like be a Q grader or something, like you could really pick it out. Oh yeah, like off an espresso machine. I mean, I can definitely taste a lot of shit in espresso now because I've drank so much of it. But it's I don't know, man. It's definitely super rad, but I geek out on all of it at the same time. Just like, this is fucking sick, and I get excited, and then it just, I don't know. I get way too excited way too easily.
That's a good thing,
dude. Well, Jimmy, we're about to approach an hour and a half.
Oh, wow, already?
Yeah, we usually keep it about an hour and a half. Right. But yeah, man, like, I just want to say, you know, thank you so much for coming on. It's been an amazing conversation.
Of course.
You're very easy to talk to. And then also tell the people where they can find you, you know, if you want to give social, and then also like the address so people can come and find you.
Yeah, so we're located out there in Miramar, Mira Mesa area. The address is 8680 Mirilani Drive, Suite 134. But if you also Google or look up Mirilani Makers District, you'll find some information about us and all the other vendors that are located in that center. You know, you can come out and make a weekend out of it, or make a Saturday afternoon out of it, get some coffee, and then go drink some wine and get some food, and, you know, get sake or whatever the hell else you want. There's everything out there. It's an industrial area, so it's, you know, easy to find parking, and that's, to me, I like the vibe.
Yeah.
It's not crowded like where we are now in North Park or other spots like that, but it is nice in Miramar and Mira Mesa. It is growing. You can find us on our website, jauntcoffee.com, social media, Jaunt Coffee Roasters. Yeah, that's where you can find our coffee as well. Go online and order some.
Dude, fuck yeah. Dude, Jimmy, thank you again so much. I always tell everybody who, you know, once you've been on the show, this will not be the last time you'll be on the show.
Oh, no problem.
All right. But yes, and just thanks again.
For sure.
Peace. Yes. Thank you so much, Jimmy. That was an amazing conversation, and I'm just so happy we got to finally sit down and catch up. And guys, that's a wrap. I just want to say thank you again for listening, to all you people around the world who continue to support Caffeine and Green week in, week out. And yeah, that was the first podcast of 2022. I'm super excited for the rest of the year, and I have some great guests coming down the pipeline. So stay tuned, guys. And like always, guys, head on over to www.caffeineandgreenroasting.com today for all of your coffee needs. That's right. That's it. Guys, thank you again so much. I appreciate all of you so much. And yeah, you know, stay safe, take care of your peoples, and I will see y'all next week. Peace.